Hello, Libra. Welcome to Tarot by Cecilia on Patreon. This is your monthly tarot guidance for the month of October 2016. Wow, we made it, right? Here it is, October. We've talked about this month for such a long time. For many of you, this is your birthday month, and this is your time to shine. But it goes way beyond that, doesn't it? Last month, Jupiter moved into your sign to stay for 13 months. So you truly are the favored one over the coming year. And you have many things to look forward to, really. So let's see what's happening here. Let's talk about the month first before we start with the cards, shall we? On the 6th, Mercury will leave shadow. Ooh, good time to get out there and do all those things you've been holding back on. Want that new job, new car, new phone? Go for it, okay? On the 7th, Mercury enters your sign. Alrighty. Now, Mercury's going to start moving faster, too, so keep that in mind. Although I think you'll find the conversations a little more balanced. I want to say for the next couple of weeks, they may be a little more back and forth, like trying to make up your mind. That's okay. On the 16th, there's a full moon in Aries. On the 18th, Venus moves into Sagittarius. Then on the 22nd, your time is changing here. Let's put it that way. The sun will move into Scorpio. And then Scorpio will be the favored one for the coming month. But you still have Libra on your side. Remember that. On the 24th, Mercury moves into Scorpio. I think the conversations will become more intense then. Okay, I see a lot of things here, so we'll see what that all means. And on the 30th, there'll be a new moon in Scorpio. I hope that you made good use of the new moon in your sign on September the 30th, because it was the best new moon of this year. And really, truthfully, I feel like you benefited from it in some way. Perhaps some Libras more so than others. But when I look at the cards, I'm seeing that sense of celebration. Okay, what did you do? Something has definitely happened here, and there's a lot of change involved with it. It comes with it a sense of something wanting to balance out. I almost want to say, like normally, a lot of times when it comes to things where there are responsibilities and you feel like you're doing it all yourself, I want to say that this month, like finally someone steps up to share the load. Is it possible? That would be wonderful. You have to remember that Jupiter in Libra is going to bring in all kinds of relationships this year and a lot of relationship aspects. So there's a great deal that's going on. And it would appear also that in order to lighten your load, Libra, that it's time to teach others. Now, what does that mean? Do you teach them your job so you do less of it? Do you teach them how to handle the responsibilities that you have? Now, this involves trust, okay? One of the things that I have found with Libras that I've known over my life is that when they were asked to teach someone something, the other person was standing there watching them do that. Okay, well, let me tell you. The way to let someone learn how to do something is to let them do it. Okay? So if you're one of those Libras who's very guilty of that, and when I tell you I've seen it time and time again, it is definitely a Libra trait. Here, just watch me. That doesn't teach them, okay? So it's really time for you to step aside, share that load, let people learn. You know what's going to happen when you do that? It frees you up for the changes that are coming. Okay? It's a wonderful thing. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. You're going to meet new people. Things are going to happen. Oh my goodness. You need this freedom in your life. Okay? You may not know exactly what to do with it, but you definitely need it. So, what have you been? I want to say battling with. All right? There's something that's been very stressful, and this stress has kept you from the future. It's kept you from possible commitments that you would like to make in your life. Now, when I say commitments, that doesn't mean love. That means everything. And you might have wanted to go get a different job. There's a sort of loneliness about this, even if you have people around you. So it's time. It's time to listen to what's going on and make these changes, the necessary changes to get to the future. All right? There's a new adventure that awaits, and I think that you're going to find that there's something happening that you really might enjoy. Whether it's for yourself or for another, there appears to have been something, I want to say stress, which is medically related. Finally, the conversations are taking place. Okay? Conversations that need to happen. All right? You can't get to the point of feeling more carefree and, being able to, I want to say to be able to stand on your own 2 feet with this medical situation. It doesn't have to be yours. It could be someone else's and you're involved in it. But, the time has come. It almost, it could be, well, not that there's a risk involved, but let's take a chance. Let's see if this works. All right. What I see here, and, I know a lot of Libras, and some of you I'm really thinking, boy, does this apply, is that there is elimination. It may be a process of elimination, like finding out what's your culprit. Like if you eliminated something, it could be dietary, it could be anything. But by eliminating something in your environment, it's going to fulfill your wishes. Oh my goodness. You see, this particular issue, God, it's been going on for a while. All right. It's a huge challenge, but there's more than determination here. You're like, finally a breakthrough. I need to have power over this situation. It needs to stop. All right. So we'll see if it can stop. I think that there is definitely something that's happening. It's kind of like finding the right combination. It may, if it does pertain to diet, it may force you or the person that this is regarding into a very strict situation, but with wonderful results. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, sometimes the simplest things can make us feel bad and we don't realize it. We get into patterns when it comes to food and drink and we stay with them. And even when we try to do better, we very often gravitate back to what it was we were doing. So this feels like it's been a situation for someone, like I said, for you or someone around you. But if it's around you, it's definitely impacted your life, where it's been a lot of trial and error and trying to balance it out. I think a solution is on its way, okay? But it involves you being willing to try something that you never thought you would have tried before. All right. I like this. Very emotional feeling, but in such a positive way. Wow. I think much of what's going on for you this month has to do with this particular situation, because it really does fall right to the center of everything. But it's time for things to feel fair. And, I mean, you're a Libra. You want that balance. Listen to both sides of the story. That's interesting, because I think that in any situation where we're looking for answers and looking for clues, what's going to work, that let's say you're checking things out from a medical perspective. I don't care who you're talking to. Don't just listen to them. Go Google it. Go find out what the research on it really, really says. This is about weighing the pros and the cons. It's your life or whoever else's life. And make sure you know exactly what it is that you need to know regarding this situation. I think that the payoff is much greater if you look at it from every angle. So if someone recommends to you, whether they're talking that the person who's affected have dietary changes or surgery or anything else, you look up every single aspect. This is what I'm seeing here. Leave no stone unturned. Don't be mesmerized by the options and say, oh, okay, all right, I'm in. You check out everything there is to know. And, if there's a negative, something in the con column that you can't deal with, scratch that one off your list for the moment until, it's dire straits time and you think you got to do it. Because you really need to balance this out, whatever it is. And when you do it, it's so much better. I mean, we're talking recovery, all right? Because there is this sense of feeling really, really cheated. Okay, and it's time for some drastic change, like giving birth to a total new phase, being more than ready. But what comes, if you've heard me say this for weeks now, about when you arrived in October and you started with this new phase, about taking your time. This is important. But take your time. And boy, I want to say herbal. I don't know why. Never said that before in my life. Herbal. Okay. So, naturopathy, possibility. Okay. But something brings about drastic change. And what I'm looking at here is that as you continue, you get to, I don't think that all results are immediate here, but I want to say where we at. This is October. I want to say probably by June, by the solstice in June, where you can just turn around and look and say, look at what I have survived. All right? There's a lot here. So you're managing to break free. What a struggle. What a time this has been. The struggle has been looking for answers. Boy, I don't know. A lot. I had someone mention to me in a comment somewhere about how I don't always talk about health. Some health issues are really very complicated. I'm not a doctor. I can only tell you what I see. So very often I use examples that pertain to, relationships, like with divorce and with business and buying and selling of homes. But this is different, what's here. This has been like an ongoing battle with something that pertains to someone's health. And, there is this kind of, I want to say, as you're working on balancing things out, this is why it takes a little while. Okay, as you're working on balancing things out, you kind of just have to go with the flow with it. All right? It's sort of back and forth. I think maybe to get the right combination to break free from the whole thing. But, finally the vision for change is there. I'm liking that. I'm liking it a lot. I actually want to say, let's see. So I feel like June is important, but before then, maybe even by February, you're starting to say to yourself, there's a whole world out there I need to go explore. And which way do I want to go? It's amazing. See, the power of the universe, really, truly, it's within you. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself in the coming 9-10 months. I really, truly believe that. It's a deeper understanding of who you are and what you can do, what you can become. Wow. This is some really powerful stuff. I mean, not to mention, like I said, You have Jupiter on your side this year. So if you're looking for answers, the answers are there. But I really think finding them, I think you are the key, not someone else. Yeah, you meet the right people and you have the right conversations. But like I said, do not go just verbatim on what someone else says. Do your homework, because this is going to make a huge, huge difference in your life. So Libra, you are definitely at the beginning of something here. You know, you're being guided in a direction, but I think you're actually, I want to say, beginning to light your own way, to take back control. I'm telling you that if this is, I'm really seeing it as a health issue. It could be someone else's health issue or yours, or it could be something within a relationship that's off balance. But I'm telling you, it's like Google is your friend. I don't care if you need reams of paper to sit down and figure this out and keep strict notes with it. All right. In order to get the proper balance, I really see like this paying close attention to the details. That's what gets you past the hard times and finally to the new beginning that you're looking for. But when you do this, like where you get to the point where you're taking back control and you put an end to everything, oh my goodness, the world that it opens up. You know, the choices that you're finally able to make. And I think that there are more relationship choices that are available or even necessary at that time. So I'm finding this to be really, really interesting. Okay, because this feels like a long overcoming. Like I said, you know, when I stop and I think about a lot of the Libras that I know, they've been faced with some major health crises. And they've really disrupted their lives. And some have also had to deal with, you know, the health situations of others who are near and dear to them. So what I'm seeing in this coming year is this new beginning. And it comes in a very creative way. All right? It's all about your vision and what you want to do. And like I said, it's definitely about taking your time. I think, let me see, I've said this, my goodness, for almost everyone, and it's here again. I want to say that around the 10th of the month is a big turning point, okay? And while I'm not aware of anything major that happens on the 10th, it could just be clearing all of that Mercury energy and things having shifted so that you finally have the clarity, all right? But the 10th is, in the U.S., it's Columbus Day. In Canada, it's Thanksgiving. It doesn't really matter where you are. I just feel like it's a turning point. And there are things that are happening then which you feel more, I want to say, even keeled. Okay? Which is a good way to be. Because I think there's been an awful lot of stress going back and forth with things that have happened. And to reach that even keeled moment is good. It makes it possible to move forward. So I'm not sure for how long you find yourself doing all of this research. You're not alone in this, okay? This sounds like if you've already done research is one thing, but this is different. This is a result of conversations with people who are there to help you and who have come into your life and really seem to be sharing some important knowledge. Like you're learning new things. These new things that you learn are what help you, you know, manage to balance things out. So this is really important. I think this is phenomenal. When I think of how many of you I know out there, to be able to set your sights on June and to say that you'd be just like so far past it, because I really think that before then, somewhere in that February, March timeframe, when the next set of eclipses coming up, you're really looking at some choices. Because if you've accomplished something major with this health issue, you get a whole new perspective. You know, it's like, what do you want to do next? And I think that's what's coming for you this year, Libra. So I want to thank you very much for listening. Wonderful, wonderful news, I think, for you this month. And take care. I'll see you here again next month.